Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rewind and Reflect, where we believe in the universal truth that there's no such thing as coincidences or mistakes. And we're here to share our life experience on that with you.
Sorry.
My name is Deb Miller.
I'm so sorry. I I have something in my
Oh God.
I have something in my eye and it's like making my contact lens really blurry. I'm
Oh,
Susan
no.
Doyle. Of course, I had to do it exactly at the moment that I hit record. Thank God I
Hmm.
could even see the computer screen to do that. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Dean.
I almost said we believe in the universe. There's no such thing as coincidences and expectations. I almost said
Oh,
that word, and I was like, wait, that's not the right word. But
It's not the right word,
it's apropos
but
to what we're talking about
it's,
today.
so maybe it was right there because this is sort of what we were talking about. So, tr truth be told, we all speak multiple times during the week, even if it's just like text messages and things like that. And so we brought up last week's discussion, which I think was really great about expectations and how, that leads into boundaries. And I think it was a great, basically unrealistic expectations, 100% of the time get you in trouble, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. But after thinking about what we were talking about, I kind of have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with unrealistic expectations, but I do have an issue with all expectations don't get you in trouble. I think that there's, a low-lying level of realistic expectations that we can absolutely have with people in our lives or perfect strangers. Like, you know, for example, we all raise kids, right? We would walk into a restaurant and we would have a realistic expectation of our children to behave a certain way, right? We set that
Yeah.
up.
Hmm.
And so my issue or where I wrestle is, I treat everybody with kindness and respect and honesty and think that there's good in everybody until they show me a different way. Is it an unrealistic expectation to want that back? I don't do it to want anything back, right? But I think it's a realistic expectation that unless I have shown you disrespect, I have an expectation that you treat me with respect until something else occurs, right?
Hmm.
I'm
Or
gonna
no, or,
read
or
this.
am I or am I still, even with those small, what I consider realistic expectations, am I still setting myself up for disappointment?
I'm gonna read this little ditty that Deborah Jean sent to me this week because I'm gonna share a story on this topic, and it speaks to what you're just talking about, Sue. Repeat after me. We do not beg to sit at tables we were not invited to. We do not chase people who exclude or ignore us. We do not seek healing from those who hurt us. We do not set ourselves on fire to keep others warm. So,
Amen.
amen, right? Like that's,
We got to stop doing that because that's what causes where we have an expectation of people to behave a certain way, and they might not have that same feeling or feeling towards us that they have to behave that way.
right.
So, Kristen, go
Intention.
ahead. Sorry, honey, I didn't mean to interrupt you, and you've got a story to tell.
No, that's fine. I agree with you. Like it's different intentions. Everybody, you find out who the old saying, you find out who your friends are, who your loved ones are. And I'm
Okay,
gonna
but I
tell
have
this story.
something to say before you do your share. I really do,
Yeah.
because what if is it okay to set yourself on fire once to keep them warm? And then if they drive by it or don't even try and stomp out the fire or invite them to your table, with and the next in the next 5 times you don't even have enough room on a bench for one butt cheek at their table, do you then say, okay, I'm done? Like, is it okay to set the boundary at that point? Or, like that's where I get balled up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because I will set myself on fire for people.
But
Um,
why?
because just because that's who I am until they show me that they don't appreciate it.
Right. So that's one. So you set yourself on fire to keep that person warm, and they do not appreciate it. Do not do it again.
That's it. One and done.
Right, but
They have shown you
is
who
the
their
one
true colors.
time
Yes.
considered unrealistic because you just shouldn't do it at all ever.
No, no, no. You give of yourself. You treat others as you want to be treated, with
Right?
kindness and respect.
Correct.
If they do not give that back to you, then you need to move on and find people that
So
will
isn't
give
that
that to
okay?
you.
So here's the deal. Isn't that giving of yourself expecting something in return? It's like giving to charity expecting to get kudos.
No, but if I'm giving to charity and they're not even acknowledging that I have taken the time to write a check out of my personal account to send it to them because I want to help them, and I don't even get a correspondence saying, we received your check, we appreciate you, this is what it's going to be going to, blah, 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 blah. They're not getting money from me anymore.
Right.
Right.
You're going to give
Okay.
of yourself, but then if you don't get the proper respect back, you can keep
Okay.
on setting yourself on fire all that you want, but all it is doing is making you be pissy and towards them, and a
Right.
big fat resentment now. And that
Okay.
just hurts you.
Yeah.
And that whole saying about we're not gonna sit at a table where we're not invited or not wanted, that has happened to me so many times during my life.
Me too.
I
Mhm.
can't even tell you. And
Me too.
I have started like, and quite honestly, it happens a lot in AA.
Oh, yeah.
People have their little seats every time you go into the meeting, they're in the same spot with the same people. And you try to pull a chair up to that table and you feel immediately that oh, you're taking somebody else's spot. Like, okay,
Mm.
I'm gonna go sit over there.
Yeah.
For those
I'm
of you
sitting
who
where
are
my butt
listening,
cheeks fit.
those of you who are listening, Deb just raised her middle finger.
Oh, yeah. Right. Watching.
Continue.
Oh, listening. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
We do not show up to places where we're not wanted or
Right.
not appreciated or not welcomed. We'll make
Okay,
that
so
mistake
what
once
happens
and then
if
that's it.
you are brought to that table with somebody else who is infinitely welcomed? Then what do you do?
If you go
Okay,
to
so
that
I am
table,
sure we have all been in situations
mhm,
with either significant others or like family members or friends that person has a all access pass to that table, but the guest of that person
mhm.
or the wife or the best friend or the significant other of that person does not quite have the same access and they are or it's access denied.
Okay, so I have an example of this. When I first started dating Kevin, he spent many of his summers in Newport and had a huge friend group there. He's got multiple friend groups, okay, but in Newport, but there was one particular friend group that he tried to incorporate in me into, and the women in that group made it very clear that there was no space for me there. I mean, very clear. And I said to him after that night, I was very kind, I was very nice. I tried to, be, and I said to him after that, you're welcome to go hang out with those people, but I have no interest in doing that. I don't ever want to be around people that make me feel unwelcome.
Yeah.
And I'm not, all I'm trying to do is participate in a conversation. And they're
Did you
just,
have a little bit of an expectation in the back of your mind that you wanted Kevin not to spend time with them anymore because they were not nice to you?
It's a great
that's
question.
exactly what happened. He saw how they were treating me, and that was the end of that. Nope,
That's good.
no more.
Yeah.
Because
I must surround myself with people who are Ray Charles because
no, but you see, it's different. Listen,
dark
I
sunglasses and everything.
it's
God.
different when it's family.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's different. It's different when it's family because it you can't just make a decision to walk away.
Right.
There has to be some kind of um both parties have to come together and have a mutual understanding and boundaries.
Okay. I agree. I get
Okay,
that.
so
Hmm.
um if Hunter was to bring somebody into my life that I maybe didn't care for or she didn't care for me, we would have to find a way to work it out. Or else
Okay.
I gotta
Fair.
disconnect from their life, And I wouldn't expect Kevin to cut his family off for me just because maybe they've never been this way, but maybe if they were rude or didn't like me and
Right.
were mean to me. I couldn't ask that of him, nor would I. But what I would do is not make, I would opt out of gatherings as much as I could to make
Okay.
everybody feel more comfortable. So,
Share your story,
Right. You
Kristen.
yeah.
can't choose you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family,
I
but
mean, unless they're really, really mean
right.
and, but sometimes it's just oil and water and,
Yeah,
you don't.
I am really okay with family sitting on opposite ends of the table for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
Yeah.
lots
I
of
don't
people
know.
that have to do
I'm
it.
the jury's kind of still out for me with that one, but as Kristen tells her story, I'm sure I will come up
Yeah.
with some sort of opinion on that.
So let
I've
me
never, that's never been a problem of mine.
I'm gonna have an opinion on that.
I
let
will
me
have an
let me
opinion.
preface this story by saying how grateful I am to have such wonderful family and friends and to just call attention to those that do love me. Um, so I recently celebrated a birthday,
Whoop whoop. How
and
old?
I'm 56. I'm on the
What 56? Is
back
that the
half
thing?
of fifth of
Five,
what
six?
is it?
I don't know. What is
Is
that thing that
what?
kids are doing? Five,
What is
six?
that?
I
Or
don't
is that
know.
6, 7? Remember they had the
I don't know.
I
I
don't
thought
know
we were
what the
going to go
kids are
back into
doing.
the conversation that she's way past middle age, which I don't think she is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
But
She's gonna live to 110.
Yeah.
okay, but it's not
Well,
necessarily the exact middle of your age. I like Joan Malone.
Joan Malone. Yep.
Joan Malone was like, no,
70 is middle age, right? Or
yeah.
75, isn't that what she said?
And
Something
she's
like
not
that.
expecting to live to 140 or 150, but whatever type of formula she came up with, I am jumping on that
Yeah,
bandwagon.
me too. I like that.
All right. So go ahead,
All
Kristen.
right. So
Sorry.
anyway,
You
so I
digress.
recently celebrated a birthday, and lovely people reached out, and I don't expect to be lavished with gifts and celebrations. I um, and I must give a shout out to Jane and Christy, who both reached out to me independently to wish me a happy birthday and to also say they listen to our podcast every week and they love us.
Aw.
So yay,
Hello,
Jane. Yay,
Jane.
Yay.
Christy.
Yay,
Yeah.
Christy. Hey, Jane. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you. Yeah. And I had one of my coworkers follow us today. So that's cool.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Queen.
I know. Right. So, so I have an expectation that my father, someone I'm romantically involved with, and my closest local AA friend might remember my birthday. So we're almost a week later now. None of them have remembered.
Can't even believe that.
So
I can't
I
even
was,
believe that.
Okay,
I
so all right,
was
so hold on, let's back it up for a second. I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. Does your dad have any memory issues?
zero. Well,
Has he ever forgotten it before?
never, no, but I have to give so my mother's been gone. This is my second birthday when she's that she's been gone. He remembered last year, but she was queen of operations in that household. Like,
So
she
let's,
remembered.
yeah. Okay, so we
But
can give, agreed. Maybe it was written on the calendar still from when your mom wrote it on there or something, but I'm not giving him a pass by any stretch of the imagination. I would be devastated.
I
Mhm.
was hurt. And listen, he's the only one of the three that I will have a conversation with my friend if it comes up. If it doesn't, I just file it away. And I am a little passive aggressive, but whatever. My dad is the
Will it
only
make you
person.
not, will it make you not wish them a happy birthday? Will you be
No, I'll still wish her a happy birthday,
petty, or will
but
you
I
just
won't
sort of like,
go overboard. I won't do
okay.
anything like I did, you know, and listen, I'm guilty. I've forgotten people's birthdays as well. But these
Mhm.
people, you know, it really made me squarely look at who is sitting at my table, you know, no matter how frequently or infrequently. My dad, I do the most for. I'm his local child and I'm his first phone call. So it's my responsibility to let him know. And he'll feel bad, but he's
Did your brother remember?
self-absorbed. Oh yeah, my brother. Yeah. My brother was, I think my daughter called me first, my brother called me second. There
Do
again,
you put any responsibility on your brother or either one of your kids to have reminded your father based on his age?
um, not on my children. My brother will be, he'll probably mention it if he talks to my father before I do, but I'm talking to my father this afternoon. So,
That's a really good point, Sue. I'm constantly reminding my parents of grandkids' birthdays
grandkids, yeah.
or kids or people that like Kevin's birthday, even though my mother has a calendar and writes down everything. But they often have to ping me. We have like a thing, and I'll ping them or they'll ping me. We're all reminding each other of family birthdays.
And I think that
Right.
I could,
But let me just say this. I don't think my parents have ever forgotten that's like grandkids and nephews and nieces, but
Hmm.
the
listen, one of the
father
things,
thing that bothers me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not diminishing how it had to have felt because it would have crushed me
I
for
mean, listen,
sure.
what I'm learning now that my mom's been gone almost 2 years is that, and my brother and I had this conversation the other day. Our father is also very self-absorbed. We were raised by people who they did the best they could, but my dad is writing his second book, and my weekend time is very valuable. And
Mhm.
Hmm.
I took some time last Saturday to go see him, and he made time for his publisher instead of me. And we had a previous plan. So
Mm.
those are two things
Mm.
that, my dad, and he always forget. He has 4 grandchildren. He doesn't remember any of their birthdays ever. Like, I could remind him and write them down on the calendar, but like, he's very self aware of what is going on. Like, he came over here one night late. I've told him a million times, do not stop by here unless you call me first.
Mhm.
And it was like my bedtime, and he's coming over because his cell phone's not working. That's self-absorbed. Like,
Hmm.
he's crossing my boundaries.
Yeah,
You
especially
know?
after you've made it clear to him.
Yeah. And it's
So
not,
it
yeah,
does sound like it's just his personality. Like
yeah,
to me, he just sounds like and from what you've described of him, he's like super, super smart,
yeah.
but just not
Clueless.
socially like not socially or whatever. Like he's what do they call the crazy professor or whatever?
Idiot savant. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like you're like it just
The
sounds like that's
absent-minded
just
professor.
yes, the absent-minded
Yeah.
professor. He's just like, but that's not okay, especially because for so many years when your mother was alive,
Right.
you they had very strong boundaries with you and your
Oh,
kids.
oh my God, you're not kidding.
And
Right.
now it's like now he needs you for everything.
Yeah. No, and
And
it's not like there's gonna be
And
more
is
of a
there like a
line.
silent expectation of him towards you that you will be available whenever, because you're the daughter, like you'll be available to do these things or answer these questions or always answer the door, all these things. Because your dad reminds me of my ex-mother-in-law. Like we would set boundaries and she would think they were for everybody else but her.
mm,
Mhm.
Oh, well, that doesn't apply to me. I'm like, we
No,
made that boundary because
yeah,
of you. You
right.
know what I mean?
Now my dad is he'll be like, "Oh, I know you're busy and I know this and I know that." But those are just
But
words. He
yeah.
still is, you know, I am the solution for everything. And I think what I haven't yet said to him, and I have discussed with my brother about saying to him, is that you and mom threw us both out when we
Mm,
were 17 and 18, and you said, do not come to us for anything. I'm not that person, and I'm not going to be that person to my dad, but he needs to know that
mm,
that you cannot now just I have not forgotten. I have forgiven, and I love my dad. I do. He's a
mhm.
kind, sweet man, but he's like he really like that. And my friend, I was really I had a big
mm.
fat resentment, and I still do.
Well, so again, so let's bring it back for a little bit. If it is a realistic expectation, is it okay to have a little bit of a resentment towards them about it?
Yes, it's when
And
we have unrealistic expectations and then those do not come to fruition. Then we can't, we should not have a resentment against an unrealistic expectation. A realistic expectation is things like I expect that my kids are going to behave when we bring them to restaurants. I expect that my loved family members are going to remember my birthday. I, expect that when I cook dinner, for somebody, they're going to say thank you.
mm,
Right.
Things like that.
Things like
hmm
that.
Those
Yeah.
are realistic expectations.
Yeah.
So how's
When
the
we have
conversation going to go with your dad? Like, what is it going to be? Is it going to revolve around the simple fact that he forgot your birthday, or is it now going to be in a broader brushstroke where you are going to say, you know, I don't ask much of you. I don't, you have made it perfectly clear over the course of my life that, you were done when we
Mhm.
were 17 and 18. Um, like how's that going to go? So you can get your point across that you had a very, very, very low expectation that this was going to happen, and he drove by it, but still has an expectation of you to be A through Z for him.
Right. That's a great question,
And
Sue.
how do you frame it up not sounding petty?
I think I can do it with my dad. I think it's going to center around the forgetting the birthday, but I also going to take that little Saturday incident where, you know, he he wasted, I don't know, an hour of my day on Saturday. In the whole scheme of things, it's not a lot, but again, my weekend time is very valuable.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
to
going to
me,
frame it.
that sounds like an expectation, right? Of people people value their time, and you have an expectation of people valuing your time as well. It's like um doctors keeping you waiting, right?
Yeah.
It's, they're doing their thing, right? And you expect them to see that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you sitting and being an hour late for your appointment is costing me valuable time and most likely money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And so it's that level of respect and expectation that if you respect your own time, you should respect my time.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it without it being a tit for tat or a I guess I don't want your message to get lost in you forgot my birthday when the message
Right.
is much bigger than that.
Yeah. It's definitely much bigger with him because it is, you bring up a great point. Like you made it abundantly clear to me and to Dave that we were not to come to you from a very young age. And now A through Z, oh, let's call
You come
Kristen.
to
Let's
me
call
all the time.
Kristen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
I lost a phone number. Do you have this person's phone number? No, Dad. I don't talk to this person. You do. Well, let me look in my email and find it for you. Like, you know, no
Right.
more.
So
It's that thing I read the other day where it says stop being the go-to person for the people that you can't go to.
yeah,
Correct.
that
I
is
love
exactly
that.
right at where it is. Yeah, that's exactly right. With Kristen, I know her well enough though, and I know that you I have such a kind heart and you're so like, okay, sure, whatever. Like you, I- it's time that you stop letting people trample on that.
Mm, I agree, Deb. I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that because it comes, it's one of those lessons I need to learn because it keeps coming up
Yeah.
in different areas. And I have to learn, I've gotten a voice in a lot of areas in my life,
Yes. Yes.
but there's some areas where I still don't have a voice. And
And we allow people to treat us the way that they treat us. We allow
we
that.
do. Exactly. Exactly.
And but I do want you to remember too when you're having a conversation with your dad, and it's so it's there's so many different dynamics here because he was probably that person to your mother, like, hey, I need you to do this and do this and do it a bit of it. And your mom, after years and years, her expectations of him was fine, I'll do all these things for you, but you got to tell the kids that when they're 18 years old, they're never coming back
Mm,
again.
mhm,
And he's like, okay, well, that'll be my role to do
mhm.
that. And now your mom's gone and
Yeah.
he's flipped what he normally would go to your mother for during her healthy years, he's now going to you for.
Yeah.
And he's 80 something years old.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So he was married to your mother for many, many years. And prior to that, he learned that behavior from somebody else.
Right.
His
So
mother.
from his mother or watching his parents or however that it goes way, way
Way
back.
back.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to be presenting him with something that he might not be able to wrap his head around in a
Mhm.
million years
Yeah.
because it is so ingrained in him that that's okay. That behavior of his is okay. And it's worked for him for, 85 or however old he is
Yep.
years. And you're going to say to him, that's not okay what you're doing. And I just want you to be aware that he might not be able to you might be speaking a foreign language to him
Right.
when you
Or
and that's
or
okay, that as long as you say the words though, you got
or
to
she
say the
could be
words.
pulling the plug on the dam.
You
He
true,
she
yeah.
could be you could also be pulling the plug on the dam where he's like he may still carry that burden of saying, there's the door, guys. We're
Hmm.
done with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe he did not want to do that.
I- I-
And that was
Possible. Yeah.
so back then, and I'm going to piggyback off on what Deb said is, you know, the woman took care of everything, was the
Mhm.
keeper of all things, and the guy's only responsibility was to take home a paycheck,
Right. Bring
right?
Hmm.
home the money.
Right. And in that, there's also this chauvinistic expectation of women and daughters. And
Hmm.
so he would never go to your brother for any of this. He goes to you because you're the woman.
Exactly. I
And
wonder.
unrealistic, he has an unrealistic expectation of women being the gatekeeper of all things.
Of all things. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I see my mother come to me for things my entire life, and my brother has just skirted through.
Yeah.
They don't even ask him how he is.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts to me.
It goes to it's called daughterhood. I heard this weekend. One of my friends said there's this new saying or new role for us, and it's daughterhood, and it's caring for our aging parents. And that's not to say my brother is 100% willing to take on, he's like, how can I help? And I give him stuff to do and he does it, and he's fantastic. But you're exactly right, Sue. I'm local. I'm the girl.
I
So
think it's more the girl thing
yeah,
because and with it comes a different level of respect. Like so, I mean, I remember growing, being adults, and my mother would be like, "Are you still working?" And I'm like, "Would you ever ask Jeff if he still has a job?
oh, like still
Like,
literally working,
do
not
you still have a job?" No, mom. Nope.
yeah.
No. Just, like, it, do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different,
generation.
but we're, you know what? Here's the thing though, like that we're breaking that. Like you're
Agreed.
Kristen, you're and Sue, like you're not treating your daughters like that. Like
Right,
you must take care of me, you
right.
know? Um,
No. I mean, I treat my kids as individuals, but there's
right.
also this, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, not at
Yeah,
all. I mean,
yeah.
I was going to say the same thing, Kristen. You have broken that cycle, so kudos
Mhm.
to you. But I'm going to tell
Thank
you
you.
this. I'm going to tell you this. I still, and I know you do too, Debbie's got parents that are literally from another planet
They're the
because
best.
they're just very evolved. I don't know if I don't, I think it's Sandy. Honestly, I think Sandy was like unapologetically herself her entire life. I mean,
Yeah.
she has said, I'm not going to apologize. I'm just moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like, I don't believe in the word, regret or and it's
And,
so funny because
but
my dad.
George has also picked up on that
Yeah, yeah, for
over the
sure. But
course
like
of 50 years.
my dad was just calling and I saw him call and hang up and I'm like, I know my mother is like, don't call her. She's busy.
it's
And
so
because he
good.
goes, she said to me, if your father had his way, he literally would call you every 5 minutes just
Oh,
to talk, just to
just to
talk.
say hi.
Yeah, she's like, and I'm constantly saying, leave her alone, George, leave her alone, George.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I know my mom's very in touch with like boundaries,
Yeah.
very in touch with
So I
boundaries.
can say as an adult child, I think my mother called me a day earlier than my birthday this year. She called me on the
My mom
11th
used to do
instead of the
that all the
12th.
time.
And
Yeah.
she
And I'm
said,
like,
happy birthday, or she was,
"Oh yeah." And
oh,
and
okay.
so, I said thank you, of course, thank you. And then I said, my
Yeah.
birthday's tomorrow, right,
Tomorrow.
Mom? Like I was like half checking in to see if she's lost her marbles and like half she's like,
Oh,
"Yeah, I didn't want to forget, so I'm doing it today."
Oh,
exactly what my
But
mom used to do. Yes.
but I do have to say like it is really hurtful because I think here's the other thing. Here's the other side of an expectation. We want as children to live up to our parents' expectations. And it's very hard to say no when your dad says, or your mom says, or your parents say, "Do you have 5 minutes to help me? Can you do this? Do you mind doing that?" You know what I mean? It's very hard to say that. But then, which makes the forgetting of the birthday or the diminishing of our ask of them, I think even more hurtful
Mm,
because they don't carry the same burden of not wanting to disappoint us.
right. Right.
yeah.
You think that's a generational thing? Like we're different with our kids.
I think it's a child-parent dynamic.
I
Okay.
agree.
I mean, to this day, I still am like making a decision and thinking to myself, am I going to be able to explain this to my parents or my mom because my dad's not
Mm.
here anymore? But and that sometimes makes me stop and think.
Yeah, same,
Okay.
same.
I never think.
I
Yeah,
do.
but I also wasn't kicked out at 18, Kristen. I mean,
That's
you
right.
know, but
Yeah, no,
you
they
know,
didn't planned and
so is this going to change um the level of access he has now? Or, you know, let's also put your the somebody that you're romantically involved in. They forgot too,
yeah.
which
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
is
worth
that
it.
true? Is that like, okay, we're done. Like that is
Yeah.
a deal breaker and okay,
Yeah, it's
and
not
you're
that.
allowed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
I'm
I think
sorry.
that is, I mean, so I'm gonna ask the stupid question. Does he know
No. No, because
that
none
it's
of
your
these
birthday? Did he know it was your
oh
birthday?
yes. Well, so it's hard to say like so this is a person I don't see very often. Obviously it's whatever, but it's it's someone that should have remembered
But I'm
based
going to
yeah.
ask
on
that question. Did that person actually know?
Has he ever said, when is your birthday? Do you know each other's
oh, he
birthdays?
knows my birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
he knows when my birthday is. Yes, he does. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
If
And so
somebody
he
isn't,
is full denial access from this point forward.
yeah.
I mean, listen, yes, like it's going to be easy because it's not, it's
Well,
not
it's a long distance relationship.
correct.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like
Okay.
you're in, but yeah, I mean, there that's a realistic expectation that somebody
I
that you're
agree with that
romantically involved
100%.
with remembers your birthday and says happy birthday.
Yeah. Again, I'm not
It's
looking for
And it doesn't have to be 6 dozen roses delivered
no,
and a diamond bracelet from
quite
Tiffany's,
not. I don't
but
want
a
that.
text message saying happy birthday
That's it.
yeah,
That's all I,
is really
yeah,
a very realistic
yeah.
expectation. And
Because
I
Kristen,
100% agree with both of
yeah,
you.
you have always been very low maintenance with your birthday. Yeah, thank
yeah.
you know, not no expectations. I'm the same way. Sue likes all the fanfare, and you know, we're gonna have to. I'm kidding.
I know,
But
right? I
but
want, you know, I want the
I-
streets closed down,
Balloons.
the whole nine.
but I
Yeah.
do. I have friends that are very into their birthdays, very into their birthdays,
Yeah.
and it's a whole thing. And I've just never been like that. But when you it is you do want the people that are important to you to acknowledge that it's your special day. It comes once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. I'm not again, yes, I am totally low maintenance when it comes to my birthday. And you know, but the remembering it by those people that mean the most to you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Or how are you going to handle the female, the one that you're closest to uh
yeah,
around where
that's
you live?
well, I was telling Deb when I told her this story, because part of my resentment is she's going to feel bad. And guess what? I want her to.
Mm.
And I feel that I don't want to lose the friendship, but the friendship is definitely going to shift. It's just going to shift. You know, I have people in
Did
my
this
life.
make you look back on other situations where you can see that you have given her the throne at the head of the table and you maybe have a seat in the pantry?
Oh, what, listen, she's helped me beyond belief with lots of things. But
Mm-hmm.
when we get together, the conversation is generally all about her. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I I care about her, but I give and take,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like we do here. Like
Right.
I enjoy my friendships like that, like I'm genuinely interested in what my friends have to say and share. She
So
just
how
broke
do you
up.
feel like it's going to shift?
I think it's just going to be less. And I think that, I, again, with her, I'm going to need to say, yeah, it kind of stung a little bit when you
Mhm.
did that, when you forgot. It did, and oh, I'm off Facebook is not an excuse.
Mm.
It's not an excuse in our age group. I'm sorry. Like for people that might not know, like that's lovely that like Heather, she texted me separately because she knows I'm not on Facebook a lot. Like
Hmm.
I love that. That was so sweet of her to do that. But like if you're gonna put me on this level verbally as your friend, a best friend, then you should have it in your brain, in your phone, or on your calendar if you can't remember. Like I know her birthday. I know it. I just know it.
Well, that's okay. You, Kristen, first of all, you have one of those crazy brain memory things that like, what is that? Like you read something and it's in great
Photographic.
Photogenic or
yes,
photographic?
you've
Not
got
photographic.
that.
Something.
Okay.
Photogenic.
Photograph.
If you're photographic,
Pornographic.
that means like you
You've got a
look good
Pornographic
in a
memory.
photograph.
you've got a
You're
pornographic.
photogen. No, wait. No, it's photographic memory.
It
It's
is
not a
photographic.
photogenic memory. Photogenic means that you're very, you
You
look
can
good,
take good pictures
good
or
pictures of you.
whatever. Yeah.
Photographic means that your memory, your brain takes a
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
of.
So
You're
you've
right.
got that.
I do.
A lot of people, I don't have that.
But you
A lot
remember
of
my
people,
birthday. Like,
I did remember your birthday, but
because yeah, you're a good friend. That's like, and
yeah,
I'm not saying she's not. I feel like
but this is what I want to bring to your attention because when you talk to people, you're often more interested in them
hmm,
and don't really look to talk about yourself, right? You're always like, so what's going on? How's it going? Da, da, da. And you get people talking about themselves.
mhm.
And then, but if you'll let somebody know that something is going on that you need to talk about. Okay. So, so she might be like just used to being the one that is getting your attention.
You're right.
And you
Yeah.
have the photogenic memory,
Graphic.
photographic memory. You've got that memory, so you remember things that a lot of people don't, including a lot
Correct.
of numbers. Okay.
Correct.
So you just said she's helped me in ways that are unimaginable, like or whatever.
She has. Yeah.
Right. So maybe a little grace to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Because if she doesn't have she's not on Facebook, she doesn't have I don't have things on my calendar in my phone because I don't know how to use that. So I have a handwritten calendar, and if I'm not looking at that or carrying it with me every day, you just never know.
Right. Right.
So maybe a little bit of grace there.
Yeah.
Your dad,
Giving grace does not take away
it
the sting,
doesn't.
though.
It doesn't.
And
It
she'll
doesn't.
know that it
Yeah.
stung. I'll let her
And
know.
because you treated her to her birthday, you said you did things with
Right.
her and it was a whole thing.
Okay, so
Um,
where do you draw the line of giving with no expectation of receiving the same level
Mm.
back?
Yeah. That's an
yeah,
example.
that's the other thing.
You know, just because you took her out for her birthday and paid for dinner or whatever, you can't have an expectation that they're gonna. I think you can have an expectation that she remembers it's your
That's all
birthday,
the
Right,
but I
right,
don't
right,
think
right,
there's an
right.
expectation
That's
for her to reciprocate, you
no.
know.
Yeah.
not at all. They're never, and like, she's given me little gifts, unprovoked. Like she, she
Yeah.
can be thoughtful, but
But it stings. It's your birthday. It's okay. So
yeah,
I feel like you the bigger thing here is you having the conversation with your dad.
with that. Yep. Yeah, that's the
And
big one.
And keeping your expectations of how that goes need to be very realistic because of his age and all of the year. I'm not saying like he's still very sharp, but it's the years of the way he was raised and then treated by your mom and the whole 9 yards. He's kind of treating you like a wife, expecting you to remind him of all the important things,
Yeah.
expecting you to do all of the things, and so that is what you need to talk to him about,
Yeah.
and kind of clear that pathway
He
because
is treating you like the stereotypical female prototype that has been presented to him for the last 80 something years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
just still don't think it gives him a
What it
pass,
is.
but
No,
it
definitely
gives
not.
some explanation,
Yeah.
like Deb said. Like there's
but
an
if
ex
you
there,
don't if you don't have this conversation with him, then the next time something happens that he forgets or you go over to his house and he wastes your time, you do not have a leg to stand on. If you
Right.
don't have this conversation with him and tell him, and then if it keeps happening after you tell him, then that's when you got to make some physical, like, nope, I'm not coming over.
Yeah.
I'm not coming
Right.
over to do a puzzle with you, Dad. I have too much to do and I'm not going to make you, and not say this out loud, but like, you can't prioritize him.
Right. That's what it is. It's like who's prioritized in my life? What are my priorities? I'm first because I have to be.
Mhm.
And then, that's exactly what
is
I
it
was thinking.
unrealistic or realistic for you to be close to the same number priority as other people are for you?
I think so. I think, you know what? I said this a couple weeks ago when we were on one of our podcasts. The older I get, the wiser I get. And
Mm,
it's like happening quicker now. And I'm like,
yes,
you know what? I
I
put
agree.
myself as number one. People are not, I don't want people in my life. They don't have to make me number one over them, set themselves on fire for me, whatever. But I do want people who I can have acquaintances, I have coworkers. I'm not their priority, but they're kind to me. They help me at work. But people who are my closest, my table sitters, I
Hmm.
want to be a priority in their life.
Hmm.
And in ways like we started talking about this when you were talking about respect, Sue, just general respect. Like you're gonna I'm gonna set myself on fire once. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be kind. I'm gonna give of myself. But if you don't thank me, or if you just don't make me a priority in your life, in not necessarily the same way, then you're gonna become an acquaintance.
Well, it's acknowledgement, right? It's just everybody wants to be seen, right? Everybody
And it's
wants to
common
be,
courtesy.
yes,
Right.
yes. I agree with you, Debbie. I bring it back to just common courtesy and manners,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you
But I
know.
will say that some people were not raised with courtesy and manners. They weren't.
And the
Right. You're right.
And so it's like you got to look at that like, okay, what kind of household did this person grow up in that they don't think about saying acknowledging when somebody does something kind for them and saying thank you or giving back to them what they give to you. There's so many different things at play that I guess my point is like we can't look at the way that we were raised and we were brought up and our values and expect other people to have the same thing.
Right. Right.
We have an expectation of our children because we've raised them with those values.
Mhm.
Other families, people don't. Everybody's been raised differently in different households with different
so
experiences.
okay, so if those people are in your life for whatever reason,
Hmm.
say Hunter brings somebody home or decides to marry somebody who does not have the common courtesy to pick their plate up after and just
Mm.
not asking them to clean it or put it in the dishwasher, but clear your plate or
Mm-hmm.
help. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't want help, the fact that somebody offers, do you need me to do anything? Can I help you put this dinner? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so do you take it upon yourself to try and teach this person? Like, are you going to take it upon yourself, Kristen, to try and teach your dad or teach this person you're in a romantic relationship with or teach this other woman how you would like to be treated? Debbie, if that happens to you with somebody that Hunter brings home or whatever, or even like one of your, if your brothers had like
Yeah.
whatever, somebody that you know that you're going to see again, that you know that is in your life, right?
Yeah.
You can't, you're not going to sit at a different table from them. Do you take it upon yourself for a blip to try and teach them what
No,
is
I
expected when they are in this family? Or do you go to somebody else and say, you better talk to them that they need to do this and this and this? Or is it just the next time you see them, there is no expectation that they are going to place a napkin in the trash and um s- and keep an arm up a little bit in between you and them?
That.
I guess that it really comes down to communication. In this kind of scenario, I'm thinking like I'm picturing that happening. And Hunter did have a girlfriend that just was like that. And it's a matter of I would feel comfortable saying like, hey, do you mind cleaning up the table since we cooked dinner? Or if she's cooking dinner, like, or whatever, like, hey, hey, do you mind clearing the table? Okay. And if she still doesn't do it or doesn't make any kind of effort, I will say it again. And then I'll probably have a talk with Hunter and be like, what's her deal?
What the fuck is
Like,
wrong with her?
because yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm
Do
not
you
gonna
put any
I'm
ownership
not
on him? Do you ever put any ownership on him saying, if do you expect him to get up and say, okay, so and so girlfriend, let's clean the kitchen together for my mom?
yeah, I mean, I that would be great. But I will tell you this, that if if I speak up and say, hey, when we in this household, whoever cooks doesn't clean up.
Mm,
Or we all help each other clean up, or we do it together. So come on
Hmm.
in the kitchen and help us, whatever. If that happens time and time again and she still doesn't lift a finger, I'm just not going to be inviting her over a lot. I'm going to start to put up a
Okay, so there
wall.
is a little bit of an arm's length.
Absolutely. That's
The arm
don't
starts
just
with a
because
bent elbow and then gets a
yeah,
locked
because
elbow.
yeah.
it's just
Hmm.
disrespectful. It's not considerate. And don't tell me that you're watching everybody cook and clean around you and you're just and you don't feel the need to get up and be helpful.
And how.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
understand that. So that conversation will happen because if I don't say anything and I allow her to get away with that, then that's on me.
Right. Just what you were just
That's
Hmm.
saying to
on
me with
me.
my dad. It's the
Right.
same. It's on me if I don't say
That's
something.
right.
And
And
Right.
not saying, but the expectation, you can't have an expectation that things are going to change.
change. And Sue,
Okay.
I'm
I
not
get that.
like, I
Mhm.
feel like t- I'm not teaching my 84-year-old dad anything like he's not going to
Yeah.
learn anything new. I don't care about teaching the guy because he's not mine to teach. It's whatever.
Okay.
It's not something that's going to go anywhere. So I'm not
Well, I
teaching.
guess
And
by
the
teaching, I
friends,
mean like saying to him, listen, moving forward, I expect acknowledgement on my birthday. And then if
oh,
he chooses to do it again, that's a that's a sign that he chose to drive by that. I
I
don't know.
wouldn't
I
feel
don't know.
comfortable with somebody saying to me, listen, Deb, I expect you to remember my birthday. That would be
yeah,
What?
With
It would be a different thing if you said
you
my
forgot.
birthday came and went, you
You
forgot it. And
stopped.
that hurt me a little bit. And
Yes.
I just don't want a resentment. So I'm just saying it out loud. Like that stung a little bit. I thought we were closer friends and seen as, we did a lot for your birthday and, whatever. It just stung.
Yeah.
But,
But
I don't,
teaching them new tricks or to change that
Yeah,
behavior,
you're right.
I can't be bothered
no, but you can
Yeah.
tell them
at
how
this
you
age.
feel, how
But
you
yeah,
feel. Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, yeah,
Well, so I used to be the one to, remind my brother it's mom and dad's anniversary, it's dad's birth,
yeah.
and then what I saw over the years was, oh my God, your brother called
Uh,
and we had this great conversation. He remembered and all these things, and I'm like,
Bitch, it's because of me.
right. And
Yeah.
it would be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh, so
And then I just stopped.
good.
I
Yeah.
just drew the line in the sand and I stopped.
See, and what I do is I say, yeah, that's because I told him. It's because I reminded him. That's what I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No, not a
No,
drop.
no, it's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think that's
Yeah.
great, Deb.
I don't
So
know.
you got a game plan, Kristen?
I
You
got a
got a,
game plan.
okay.
Yeah, I gotta call my
You have a
dad.
game plan with
But
no expectation of the outcome.
no expectation.
Just want to
And
get it off your chest.
yeah, like yeah, and I'm not going to the attorney's meeting tomorrow in person. I'm going on Zoom because my time is valuable. I was going to
That's
go in
right.
person, but these are the things that I do that just are self-care. Like,
That's
And I
right.
think they all feed into you get to a certain age where you're unapologetic about who you are and what you want.
right,
Mhm.
right.
And what you're going to put up with.
Yeah.
He's on his own, like I'll tell him what he needs to do for the appointment, but I don't need to be there holding his hand because
Yeah. And
then
you
I
know what? I'd
feel
rather
like,
be sitting with, like a tiny little TV tray table than a long table filled with people that I can't fucking stand.
I
Right.
love my TV tray.
Well, so I have to say, girls, thank you for this because it really cleared up a lot of. I'm happy that we had this conversation between realistic and unrealistic
Yeah.
because I do think that there has to be a level. It doesn't have to be high, but it has to be a level of realistic expectations, excuse me, that we have to be able to live our best lives or
Mhm.
know that we're surrounding ourselves with the correct people
Right.
Mhm.
and keeping ourselves in check a little bit. But manners, respect until you're disrespected, you know, courtesy, to me are very realistic expectations that I think every human being deserves
Mhm.
because they're on this planet. When you start to show me how you revere or don't revere those things, then like Debbie said, you have a choice. You don't have to be around those people anymore.
Mhm.
Right.
And you don't have to carry it as a burden or as a resentment.
That's right. Drop that rock.
Yeah.
And may
Drop
I
it.
say thank you guys for making this our topic of discussion today and talking it through with me and, making me feel validated and supported. It's those are the
Do you
people
feel a
who
little
want at
better?
the table. Yeah,
Do you feel a little better?
I
Good.
do. I do. Yeah,
Good.
Good.
thank you.
That's what we're here for, to solve all the world's
All the world's
problems and everybody's
problems.
problems.
Like we're not? My God.
All right.
Well,
How do
thanks,
people get in
girls.
touch with
Thanks,
us,
everybody.
Sue?
Yeah.
How do you
We
get in touch
can,
with
let's
us?
see, we are on. Let's do the big one first,
Um,
iHeartRadio,
Mhm.
Spotify. Somebody did ask me, I got a DM the other day. Thank you very much, Arlene, saying, where can I find you? Where can I listen to you?
Oh,
yay, Arlene.
So iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and we do have a video recording of our beautiful faces on YouTube.
mhm.
Share the show, follow the show, drop us a note, either you can drop a note I think you can write a comment definitely on YouTube, but
Yeah,
I think on
YouTube.
Spotify as well.
Mhm.
Or people can email us at rewind and reflect with us at gmail.com. Everything's spelled out.
Okay, great. And then I think on our next recording, we're gonna talk about some business ventures that Susan and
Oh,
I are dipping our
Let's
toes
do it.
into. Separate, like we have our
Separate.
separate
please.
businesses, but I think it'll be cool to kind of talk about
Yeah,
about
that'll be
what
great.
we're doing. Okay.
Perfect. Love you girls. Bye,
Love
Namaste.
everybody.
you.